Salute. Just got done with my workout, 20-minute workout. You know what I'm saying? Basement grinding. That's a good title. I think I'm gonna title it Basement Grinding. 15-minute workout. Let me digress because I'm gonna save that for the actual video. But right now I just want to talk about some boxing. Bow. Interview with Gervonta Tank Davis. I think it released on my phone notification last night. It said about an hour ago, so I don't know how late I am on it, and I haven't finished watching it yet. I'll finish watching it probably sometime tonight, or either when I get done what I gotta do right now. But I'm gonna put it like this, because I want to keep it even, as far as I don't want to be super biased when it comes to the Gervonta Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. I really want to break down what both fighters do well, and try to, you know what I'm saying, keep it as 50-50 as possible. Even though I believe that Tank has he has more tools, he has more power tools, should I say, and I think power should get the job done. But Leo Santa Cruz, to me, has the better skill set, a deeper resume, and I don't want to sleep on his what he brings to the table. I want to analyze it correctly, and don't, you know, I don't want to try to belittle Leo Santa Cruz in any sort of way. But I have to do my due diligence on Leo Santa Cruz. I watched some of his fights leading up to now, but mainly the fight that kind of helps me gauge what happened between him and Tank Davis is his 2 fights against Carl Frampton. Based on those Carl Frampton fights, that he can adapt to that kind of style, but Carl Frampton does not have the power as Gervonta Tank Davis, and I think Carl Frampton lacks a lot of things that that Tank Davis has. He lacks a lot of things that Tank Davis has, except for they do have a similar come forward style. You know what I'm saying? And they do have a similar, you know, style as far as using their power to their benefit, pressure and everything like that. So anyway, I'm watching the interview on Tank Davis, and it's a good interview. Mainly the conversation is revolved around him getting in shape, him hitting the mark for the 130 pounds, him being disciplined, him training with Floyd Money Mayweather, what different things that he's learning, and what he's going to bring to this fight that he didn't bring to the Uriorkis Gamboa fight. So that's what I think the main focus on this fight is going to be, paying attention to what Tank Davis does on the scale before it even gets to the fact of what he can do in the ring. So I've seen different videos of Tank Davis training. One video I saw, I'm not gonna lie, looks like he was slacking just a little bit in comparison to his stablemates, his camp partners. 110. It looked like he was going about 80, maybe 90%. He was doing a lot of half-assing in that training video. But in other videos I've watched him do, putting his pedal to the metal, you know what I'm saying, all the way, you know what I'm saying, gassed. So I've also seen him training, you know what I'm saying, closer to 100%. So it's a process. He said he started his camp earlier. He usually does like 8 weeks. Now he's doing like 12 weeks. And I'm gonna say this 1, 2, 3 things, and I'm gonna get out the way because I don't want to make this video too long. First of all, I gotta say this: Tank Davis has that kind of power, that his punches are insidious. And when I say insidious, I mean he has a kind of power that will knock your soul into astral projection. You know what I'm saying? Tank Davis has the kind of power that reminds me of Ivan Drago.
Whatever he hits, he destroys.
What his power gauge does. He says that he's more powerful at the 130 than he is at the 135. He says at the 130 he's faster and everything like that. So it doesn't sound like he's taking Leo Santa Cruz for granted, overlooking him, or it doesn't look like he's, taking any shortcuts in this fight. It looks like he is turning over every single stone, making sure all his T's are crossed, making sure all his I's are dotted, and that he's going to bring in that insidious Ivan Drago punching power, to come into the game, come into the fight, and take care of business. The last thing I want to say real quick is, during the interview I seen where, and I heard this again in regards to Tank Davis and Errol Spence, this other interviewer, I forget his name, was saying how he started interviewing NBA basketball players first, and how he always noticed that NBA basketball players had a legitimate love for the sport. From a kid to the time they made it to the pros, they loved the sport, they loved the training and everything like that. And then when he started to do interviews with boxers, it seemed like he didn't seem to see that same love for the sport. Like they were more focused on the business, but they didn't love the sport. And I can't remember who he was even interviewing, but when I said that, when I heard that, and then when I just hear him talking about with these basketball players, the difference between basketball players staying in shape versus a boxer staying in shape, it just kind of irritated me the wrong way, because a basketball player staying in shape year round and then getting in shape before the season starts versus a boxer, it's just apples and oranges. You know what I'm saying? And love for the sport, it's just apples and oranges. The NBA sport loves the players. You know what I'm saying? They get love. Boxing, that's a brutal blood sport. It ain't no love. It's a dog eat dog sport. And as far as being in shape as an NBA player, you know what I'm saying, staying in shape year round, you playing a sport. You should stay in shape. There ain't no excuse for an NBA player not to stay in shape. You playing a sport. You don't play boxing. You know what I'm saying? For all those reasons, a boxer should stay in prime shape like Mayweather all year round. But at the same time, an NBA player does not put his body through the same brutality that a boxer does, and doesn't need the same amount of time for a boxer to rehab himself and regroup and regenerate from getting inside the ring. From a 8-week training camp to a 12-round fight, a boxer, the punishment that he puts on his body is not equal or equivalent to a basketball player. I'm saying boxing, that's why I love boxing, and I don't really deal with any other sports, especially team sports. A basketball player can be out of shape, and when he hurts himself or when he has a little ache in his body, he can go sit down. You know what I'm saying? He can go sit down and be on the bench and bring him in at like I watched with Michael Jordan, the Last Dance. Michael Jordan had an injury, and they started to bring him back into the game. He was only allowed to play for a certain amount of time in the game. No matter if he was doing good or doing bad, he could be in the middle of a free throw. Michael Jordan could be in the middle of shooting free throws, and they would take him out the game right when he was getting hot. A boxer can't do that. A boxer can't have an injury to his ankle like your Curious Gamboa when you hurt your Achilles heel, or Pac-Man Manny Pacquiao hurt his shoulder against Floyd Money Mayweather, or Money Mayweather break his hand in the fight. He can't go sit down and let somebody else come in there and take his place. You know what I mean? So for like a Errol Spence, yeah, he has to come back into this fight 100%, because he can't come in, get his feet wet, and then say, no, I'm not ready to dive in. Let's let this other guy come in and fight the rest of this fight for me. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Tank. Tank Davis, he has to come in 100% on point. Period, point blank. You got to understand that a boxer is going to come in never 100%. He's going to be dealing with some kind of injuries, some kind of aches and pains, but he has to take that and go 12 rounds. You know what I'm saying? And then to do that and then win the fight, and then to go and get a little, you know what I'm saying, celebratorial, get a little lackadaisical, start eating, start developing bad habits, you know what I'm saying, get out of shape. It makes sense. I understand why they do it. It takes an extreme amount of discipline not to sway in the wrong way of the pendulum. Once you put your body through that grueling test, when you get a break, it's very hard to stay disciplined. That's why I always appreciated the Floyd Money Mayweather that would stay disciplined through his whole career, and even now in his 40s and retired, you still see him, you know what I'm saying, hanging and banging with the young boys. So it's not like the NBA. It's not like a football or basketball. You know what I'm saying? You don't play boxing. You don't play boxing. Period, point blank. It's Nocturnal Thoughts, man. Appreciate your time. If you stayed with me for this long, hit the subscribe button. I'm out. Salute.